Hi and welcome to this week's video. A little bit of a different view. The aircraft seems a bit lower. It might be on its wheels. So join me. Let's see how I get on. Okay then, so I'm going to just prep up this undercarriage leg ready for the Oratex thing. Really the only main differences that we do for this compared to where it's on wood things is I just start off with by degreasing the area with IPA, isopropyl alcohol, to make sure we've got no real grease on the surface where I've handled it. There shouldn't be much grease on this anyway. And then the areas where I'm going to put the covering, I'm just going to use a Scotch-Brite, give it a light keying with the Scotch-Brite, so you end up with a nice sort of satin finish on there. And then again, once you've done that, you then wipe to make sure you've got rid of the dust off the surface from using the Scotch-Brite. And then I'll do that all the way around. This will then be ready for me to apply the Oratex glue to. Right, I'll carry on and get this done. Right, so I've masked up both undercarriage legs, and so they're ready to go. Just going to apply the glue into the required areas. We'll let it dry, and I'll do the covering, and there we go. So it's the same process really as the as doing it on the wood. You'll note that I've set masking tape here on the front edge, slightly forward of the of what would be the sort of centre line. That's to help try and reduce overstick, in other words having the covering going round too far, getting stuck to the tube when I put it on. But I haven't got it on this rear tube at the moment because the covering initially is going to wrap around this tube all the way, well, not all the way but a good way round, to make sure I've got like a seam on the away from the edge there. On most undercarriage legs you would wrap it from behind going forward, so that you've got the joint overlapping with the sort of seam line on the side you don't see, and out of wind. But because of the bend in the top of my my undercarriage leg, I'm going to go the other way around. The other advantage of me going the other way around is that the sort of the texture of the material that they will sort of be in line with that on the fuselage. So it's just little bits, just another way of doing it. And there's enough area here that I can just go around so that the leading edge of the seam is pretty much dead central with the tube hidden behind, and there's enough overlap area there for there not to be any problem with interwind issues and things like that. So there we go. I'll carry on and get the rest of these painted up with the glue. Right, okay, so everything is glued up, ready to go, and so as I said, normally you'd wrap the covering around the trailing edge so that you'd have that overlap at the front. I'm doing it the other way around because of this curve at the back. I'm ready to go. So what I'm going to start off with, I'm going to start by getting the front edge tacked, and go on from there. So to help out with this, I won't do a commentary or anything like that. I'll just set up a time lapse. Hopefully it'll come out and you'll see me going through the various stages. I'm going to start by covering the inner face of the undercarriage leg with all the wraps going around and things, and then I'll have to apply more glue over the covering before I do the outer face, the bit that's going to be sort of seen when people are normally walking around rather than lying on the ground looking at the bottom of my aeroplane. Okay, I'll get cracking. Well, there we have it. Not perfect, but then nothing ever is really. Having said that, I think it will do the trip. It's nice and tight. Hopefully the time lapse came out. We can only wait and see. I don't know if I got the first face on the time lapse. I think I might have turned the camera on and off, or the record on and off, but hopefully you should have the rest of it anyway. Just to give you an idea of how hard or easy it is to go on, I think it's a relatively easy system. We've got the nice compound curve sections there all sorted. Yeah, I think it's not too shabby. Okay, I know this isn't going to be a particularly scientific test, but what I've done is I've varnished a piece of wood that I've got under here with the water-based polyurethane varnish, which I've used on the aircraft. So it's had exactly the same treatment. It's had a thin coat, then a second coat after the thin coat was just sanded to make sure it's flat, and then it was scuffed up. The Oratex glues have been applied to that and to the covering. It's been ironed at 140 degrees, and well, we'll now see what happens when you try to pull it off. That took quite a chunk of force. I don't know if you can see there on the surface, that is bits of wood. That's taken the wood off the surface. So the glue sort of failed in some places slightly, but actually we've got wood attached to the covering, strips of wood. So that's on white pine. We've got a piece of Scotch pine. I'll just, it's a bit thicker so I can just clamp the end. We'll see how we get on with this. It seems to have taken the surface off the covering slightly there, and we've got a good chunk of wood come off with it. Okay, I've glued these leather patches onto the undercarriage leg using this glue, which allows you to soak it quite well into the leather. A couple of coats on the leather, one coat on here, and then I just heat activated the glue a bit further. It quite likes it with about 110-120 degrees temperature, and that really makes it bond on. The bit of wire that's going through is just to help me guide the brake pipes in when I get the chance. So I notice my camera's running out of battery, so you'll have to wait and see this actually fitted. Well, there she is, standing on her own 3 wheels. Main leg sections are in. Some bits are permanently bolted up, so it's permanently bolted up here. These pivot points are bolted and split pinned. These are just in temporarily. The brake back plates are, or the caliper carriers are bolted up. You can sort of see that they've got the thread lock on, or the lock marker on. These bolts aren't here and here because the strut's got to come off to have the bungees put on, and I don't want to do that just yet. Don't want to have the bungees on at the moment, so they stay as they are. And then the axle bolts there are in, holding everything in place. The wheels aren't split pinned yet. The front, you can sort of see I've got the split pins in on those, and then at the back end here, the tail wheel bolt here hasn't been tightened up yet and split pinned, but all this lot is in split pin, as you can see, all ready to go. The top of the pivot and that, and the bottom has been split pinned where they like to do them. So all in all, she's looking the camera's lens just isn't wide enough, but there she is on, as I said, all 3 wheels, and it doesn't take much for me to lift the tail end and get things sorted out to sort out for doing the rear covering. Generally really happy. Yay, I think a big milestone. Well, I've been doing some silly little bits. I've just put in the fuel overflow, so That's permanently fitted, and I've fitted the lower hinge. That's screwed in with its button head screws. So there's the little covers which I've put the Oratex onto. I'm now just going to put glue onto the aluminium as well. I'm going to iron these on, and hopefully the heat from the iron will go through and actually get this piece to bond as well as the covering around the edge. Usually does reasonably well, so we'll see how we get on. Well, there is the little fairing on one side. I've got exactly the same on the other side. I've put on this this leather section here for the push rod outlet to make it a bit of a sort of fairing, so it sits can rub up and down on the inside there without wearing into the covering and things, and it's got a little bit of a shape to it there. I had thought about bringing it back further, but I thought no, I'll leave it like that. So it's just makes it a little bit nicer exit, a little bit prettier. Yeah, so there's the one on the other side there, all in place. I'll just help the cables to come out, look a little bit neater. It's just a minor little piece of trim really, just for the fun of it. Well, that's it for this week, folks. Hope you enjoyed the video. We've got the undercarriage covered and on, and a few little bits of nip-nap and trivia covered as well, so see what we get up to in the next video. Till then, keep well and look after yourselves. Bye now. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the thumbs up. You can subscribe or even hit the little bell notification for future videos. Any comments would be appreciated, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. Remember, go fly and feel the sky.